A little just quick history in public safety. Some of these guys have a button on their phone called officer down. So if they're hurt, as if they're they're shot or they're not unconscious or something, well, maybe not unconscious, but they can press the button and it notifies individuals who are providing response that there is an officer in trouble. So what did you guys do as a variation on this?
I actually didn't know that that button existed, so it's an interesting fact. But no, honestly, yesterday we were talking to the gentleman who's here from the Palo Alto police department, and I just asked him, kind of like what it is that they would be most interested in having. He mentioned that one of the things that was interesting to him was the idea of being able to track like individual officers and to get situational awareness data from where they're at. So, sorry. Sorry, yes. We basically, we're just saying that we wanted to be able to get like situational data in the location there, so we thought that it would be good to be able to build an app. And you mentioned a few interesting things like that operational security is important and that like keeping the level of complexity down is important. So, for example, if you have maybe an app that has a vast number of features, if you're like in, responding to a call or something, there's a lot of stuff going on, it might be difficult to work your way through the app basically. So our idea was that you would have an app that was simple. You basically just turn it on. So like in this case, you would just click this button, and at that point, the app would start recording your location. You would report the orientation of the device, and then you can do certain other things with the app, like that. You can maybe monitor ambient sound and like listen for things like maybe gunfire, or potentially monitor like the rate of travel to see if maybe the officer's running or something like that. And then back at like you would call dispatch, you would have sort of this overview of the different officers and the data feed that you're getting from those devices. And so, for example, mainly what we implemented was like each device would have the app running, and all of these apps would report the data back, which would include like their locations. You can see like Jack Bauer on the top screen and Laura Croft on the bottom one, for example. And as they're moving around, obviously the map would get updated. And on the right-hand side, we have a column which is for their orientation. So the thought was that you would take the iPhone, you would basically grab it, you would just press the button, turn it on, lock the screen because it still runs in the background basically. Put it in like a clip-on holder basically, like on the chest or on the belt. And then at that point, as they're moving around, for example, like if they end up flat on the ground for some reason, I'll just set it down, and they're laying down there for a period of time, then it'll check, calculate the orientation of the device and see that it's flat, or if you like lift it up, just set it vertical, that means that they're standing there basically. So maybe if the officer's vertical and they're running around and at some point they lay flat and they're stuck there for a period of time, then you would be concerned about what they're doing. Then you might just add other columns here basically. You just say switch stuff basically. Or if they were like leaning on their side, then you could just like understand that the officer is laying on their side. And you could add the audio stuff, and you could also add like a temperature sensor, maybe that plugs into audio or through the keyboard. You can understand maybe what the temperature is around the officer. So just kind of like finding out where the officers are, and then gathering sort of like passively as much situational awareness data as you can, and then reporting that back to the central dispatch. So pretty much what we did, and so that's it.
Great, Mike. Thank you. So did you by chance submit your code to Veracode for any application security testing?
No, I did. Yeah, for self though.
Oh, you did. Oh, so you're self-certified. Is that what it's called?
So we actually got a 79, and that was because we identified like the fact that the app was doing location tracking, and that it was connecting to other hosts and stuff like that. So it wasn't inherently malicious or anything. It's just there's certain risky things related to privacy. So you can see down here some of the network traffic and stuff. So maybe we need to examine some of the privacy related behavior of this app.
All right. Well, thanks so much. I appreciate it.